So basically today I just received an email from Detective David Cagle from the Fayetteville police station in Fayetteville, Georgia. And basically, to make a long story short, the complaint that I made on that particular officer, Officer Lee, was unfounded. I'm actually surprised by this one, only because there was no legitimacy in the traffic stop. There was nothing that was articulated to me as far as or in relation to any criminal activity or traffic violation. You guys all saw the video. You heard what was said from Officer Lee. Now, I decided to call the detective and ask him for more specifics on the situation. Also in that email, he had that the complaint was against Officer Lee and another officer. I never made a complaint on another officer at that time, so I don't know how they popped up on the complaint form. My complaint was on the officer and then on the receptionist, or that's not her official title, but that's basically what she is at the police department. I don't think she's a law enforcement officer, but this other person's name who was on the traffic stop popped up. Maybe because I said something about the reason why they shine a light in my face. But anyway, so I called and spoke with him to get a better clarification as far as what happened or why they, why this investigation was unfounded. So basically, in short, what the detective told me was that I could have been potentially prowling and soliciting. Can't make this up. And again, y'all remember what the officer said to me in regards to me dodging him. That's what he said on the traffic stop. So nothing was articulated about soliciting, prowling, potentially being on somebody's property that I didn't have no business being on. I was in my vehicle the whole time driving around, right? Also, what the detective told me was that I had drove down an access road that had several businesses on this access road that were closed. He didn't say that I went onto their property and just sat and, got out of the vehicle, walked around, or I just stayed there for a certain amount of time. He didn't say any of that. Now, one of the places that I did go on was a BP, and this BP is open all night. I think I made I think I turned into a BP or something like that, and exited out maybe like on the other side or something like that. But that particular BP was open. I think it's 24/7. Outside of that, I don't know what other businesses that the detective was referring to. I did ask him over the phone what other businesses was I on for them to say that I was potentially soliciting. And we all know the legal definition of what that word means, right? Soliciting and prowling. So it's like, which one is it? Am I soliciting or am I prowling? Right? So he couldn't remember what business it was when I asked him. So I was like, well, aren't you the one who investigated this? And he said, well, I don't remember what the officer told me. So basically what they did is they took the officer's word for whatever his excuse was. They basically gave him time to come up with an excuse for his actions. The detective quoted some case law and some other law in regards to, what he thought they could do. But again, I told him that the officer did not articulate anything about soliciting, prowling, potentially being trespassed on somebody's property. Again, I was never on nobody's property. He mentioned the Fayetteville or Fayette Pavilion, which over in that area, they have a lot of businesses. He brought that up. And I told him, I said, well, I stopped over there after the traffic stop. So I was never over in that area by the movie theater and all the other stuff until after I got stopped. So that's kind of null and void. I said I was being followed, and I said I moved over there to that location, and I was continuously being followed. So this is after the traffic stop. So again, this is just, Fayetteville police, their detectives, and everybody involved in this investigation being complicit in what their other officers do. You know, they know they can get away with it. They know that there's not too much that could be done about it. But on the back end, I do have other routes and other avenues that I can take, which I'm not going to discuss. But you basically have to take matters into your own hands and do your own research and investigate things, and then move forward with whatever actions that you decide to take. So basically, in a nutshell, everything the detective said did not add up to what was told to me on the traffic stop. Two totally different stories. And this is what I was just told on the phone probably less than an hour ago, probably about 30 minutes ago. So yeah, there you have it.